Gold Rush Season 15 has been a roller coaster for Parker Schnabel and his crew, especially with their struggles at Dominion Creek determined to them 10,000 ounces of gold. This season, Parker faced mounting challenges as the expected gold yields failed to materialize with the season at its midpoint and his operation significantly behind schedule. Parker knew he had to make a game-changing move to salvage his season, realizing that Dominion Creek had become a money pit. Parker decided to shift his focus to more promising ground. His crew had already found success at Indian River, and with that in mind, he made a bold decision, one that left his team stunned. Gathering his core team members, Chris Doit, Mitch Blash, and Tyson Lee, Parker revealed that he had just signed a deal to purchase a neighboring claim for $2.5 million. The acquisition included 3 mil of gold run and 1 mile of sulfur creek. When asked if he had merely bought the dirt, Parker confidently replied, "The whole company." This meant that Parker was not just purchasing new land, but also inheriting all the assets, liabilities, and operational responsibilities that came with the company. This wasn't just a land purchase, it was a complete takeover of an entire mining operation, including its equipment, infrastructure, and business responsibilities. The hefty price tag immediately raised concerns among his team. Parker himself acknowledged the financial strain, admitting, "From a cash standpoint, it puts pressure on us, but I've embraced the debt." Ever the realist, he even joked, You can always go bankrupt." Despite the humor, it was clear that Parker fully grasped the high stakes of this decision. The pressure was immense, but there was also reason for optimism. One of the new cuts was reportedly producing 10 ounces of gold per hour, a stark contrast to the struggles at Dominion Creek. The Schnabel crew hadn't seen numbers like that in a long time, reigniting their hope for a turnaround. However, this new venture was not without risk. The newly acquired company came with its own logistical hurdles, from maintaining equipment to managing workers unfamiliar with Parker's style of operation. Every move had to be precise if this acquisition was going to pay off. Early results show promise. The gamble quickly showed signs of paying off at the next gold weigh in the Dominion long cut yielded 21,770 Oz. The bridge cut produced 7710 Oz, and Ken and Stewart's Place brought in 98.8 ohms. Most notably, despite only 2 days of mining at Sulphur Creek, the team pulled in an impressive 141.50. The potential for a full week of mining there had everyone excited. The initial excitement was tempered by the reality of running multiple operations simultaneously. Managing both Dominion Creek and Gold Run meant increased complexity in transport, refining, logistics, and personnel management. The team had to ensure that the mining efficiency in both locations remained optimal. Additionally, Parker needed to stay on top of fuel costs, equipment repairs, and potential legal hurdles that might arise from the acquisition. Can Parker turn his season around? Parker's decision to pivot mid-season was a high-risk, high-reward move. While Dominion Creek had drained resources and morale, the new claim at Gold Run and Sulphur Creek could be the key to salvaging his ambitious 10,000-ounce goal. The mining community and Gold Rush fans alike have been buzzing about this bold move. Some see it as a stroke of genius, while others fear it could be Parker's downfall. With a massive financial burden hanging over him, every ounce of gold mined at Gold Run and Sulphur Creek will be crucial, as Parker himself put it with his signature dry wit. We'll see if it's congratulations or condolences. For now, the Schnabel crew is back in the game, and fans will be watching closely to see if this bold investment pays off. If the new claims continue to yield high-quality gold at the current rate, Parker might just pull off one of the most dramatic turnarounds in Gold Rush history. But with time running out in the season, the pressure is on. Can Parker and his team adapt quickly enough to make this risk worth it, or will the financial prove too heavy? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Parker Schnabel never backs down from a challenge. Parker Schnabel's latest move to purchase Gold Run has added immense pressure to an already stretched thin crew. While the decision could ultimately secure his future in gold mining, the short-term impact has raised serious concerns among his team. The acquisition means bigger operations, higher expectations, and an increasing workload on an already maxed out team, a crew already running at full capacity. With the acquisition of Gold Run and Sulphur Creek, Parker has significantly expanded his operation. However, his crew was already operating at full capacity, making the logistics of mining an additional massive claim a daunting challenge. Managing 3 wash plants simultaneously is no easy feat, and adding another large-scale mining site only increases the difficulty. We're already running at full capacity, Mitch Blash pointed out. How do we handle this? Parker explained that Sulphur Creek was already stripped and ready for mining, meaning they could begin running pay dirt immediately. His plan was to shift resources from the Indian River claim once it was exhausted, ensuring that they continued operations without completely overloading the team. However, with so much equipment already in use and no easy way to bring in more manpower, the strain on the crew was undeniable. Execution is easier said than done. With long-standing crew shortages and the absence of experienced miners, the added workload risks pushing the team to its limits. Crew members are already working grueling hours, and now they are expected to sustain productivity across multiple locations. Fatigue, equipment failures, and logistical nightmares could spell disaster if the team isn't able to manage the increased demands. They will need to pull at least 1,000 ounces of gold from the new claims this season just to break even on the purchase, making the stakes higher than ever. Every minute counts, and every ton of dirt matters. Parker's financial gamble has placed enormous pressure on his crew to deliver, and they can't afford to fall short. A high-stakes gamble. Not everyone on the team is convinced that Parker made the right decision. Chris Dewitt, known for his sharp wit, voiced his skepticism. I really don't like having neighbors, but you could have just built a fence. Probably would have been a lot cheaper. He joked. Despite his doubts, Mitch recognized Parker's long-term vision. Right now, this seems like a high-risk move, but a year from now, we'll probably look back and say, of course, that was the right call. Tyson Lee summed up the crew's mixed emotions. It's a bittersweet moment. The bitter part, I think I need to take Parker's checkbook away. He's spending money. We don't have the sweet part. He bought Gold Run. That's like saying I just signed with the Yankees. While Parker remains optimistic, the stress is evident. The crew knows that if they can't keep up, the season could spiral out of control. Every additional day of work adds to the fatigue, and the pressure to meet expectations keeps mounting. The sheer size of the new operation is daunting, and any misstep could cost them dearly. All eyes on Parker and his crew, with the clock ticking and the season on the line. Parker and his crew have no room for failure. Every decision, every shift in resources, and every ounce of gold mined will determine whether this gamble pays off or becomes a costly mistake. The pressure is at an all-time high, and there's no turning back now for Parker. This is the biggest challenge of his career. He has always thrived under pressure, but the question remains, can his crew keep up? Morale, efficiency, and endurance will be tested like never before. Will Gold Run be the claim that secures Parker's future, or will it leave him scrambling to recover? One thing is certain, the rest of the season is going to be one hell of a ride. The stakes have never been higher, and Parker's bold move will either cement his legacy or push him to the brink of failure. His crew is feeling the weight of the challenge, and only time will tell if they can rise to the occasion.